Thanks for tuning in to another show in the Next Reel family of film podcasts.
Want to skip those ads and get early access?
Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Hey, how about an orgy? I've got good news and bad news. The good news is your dates are here. The bad news is they're dead. You were born with an asshole, Doris. You don't need Chuck. Welcome to Night of City in the Dark. Now thrill me. The three, if you know the genre, those quotes would have given it away. We're talking about 1984's Night of the Comet. We're talking about 1986's Night of the Creeps and 1988's Night of the Demons. I was really excited to talk about all of these. Also, I believe I was the only one who had seen all of these. And I'm actually wearing a Detective Cameron in the Streets, Dr. Chalice in the Sheets shirt by Little Shop of Gore. So if you know Halloween 3, that's the Dr. Chalice reference. And of course, Detective Cameron is Night of the Creeps, but getting ahead of ourselves. So I picked these because I am a big fan of all of them. They're kind of in the release order is kind of my favorite. The order of how I rank them. But Night of the Comet obviously is the first. It's the first one I saw. So the order is also the order I saw them in growing up. Night of the Comet is like very special to me. That one I connected with the most. I just wanted to pick three when I was thinking about this that are so much fun. Also like hardcore 80s horror movies. I've done Halloween costumes of these before. But I do, I very much want to hear, especially having not seen them before, your notes and thoughts on them. But I ultimately just wanted things that were pretty fun. Obviously, we have like, one of them's a Christmas movie. One of them's what is it called? I'm not in a sorority. Rush. I'm talking about Rush. And and then the last one is a Halloween movie. So kind of the season that we're in right now too. So that's the sort of backstory. And
they have a lot of 80s tood.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And also I was born in the 80s, but I'm a child of the 90s. So a lot of this is like, I feel like people have a lot of nostalgia for these movies that saw them in the 80s, whereas I came to them much later. So I have kind of a different relationship with them. I'll kick it off with Night of the Comet. For those who haven't seen it, a comet wipes out most of life on Earth, leaving two valley girls fighting against zombies and sinister scientists. And it takes place at Christmas, so it's very much like a holiday film, and stars Catherine Mary Stewart, also stars my dear friend Kelly Maroney, the incredible Mary Warnov, Jeffrey Lewis, and it takes place in beautiful Los Angeles.
You Angelinos, do you know these streets where these people disappeared? Do you drive down these hallowed streets and wonder when you're going to turn to dust?
I have, and actually one of the most impressive things about it was some of the long shots of wide, empty Los Angeles. Like, how did this film do that? That's crazy. That's like some Vanilla Sky stuff.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's amazing.
Totally. It's like 5 a.m, like stretches of downtown Los Angeles, completely desolate. Incredible.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. I love it. But I guess we'll kick it off with Axe to Grind.
Why is it in Christmas?
Great question. Don't know.
Like there's not necessarily like a payoff, right?
No.
I don't think so.
It doesn't end at Christmas Day
or New Year's or something.
Right. And they're not playing Christmas music usually because it's half of it takes place in a radio station, so they can just continually play rock songs over and over again.
Yeah. The only time I think they have a thematic, there's like a crooner Christmas song. It's the most wonderful time. I think it's a wonderful time of the year during the Nobody's Here montage. And that was almost it. I thought that was really interesting. Especially because it's shooting in Los Angeles where there's no seasons. They just don't exist. So you don't even get the John Hughes Chicago tie-in, right? Where it's the holidays because it's winter. I thought about that too. That was a similar axe.
I think if I had a real axe, it would just be the inevitable 80s dropping of the F-bomb.
Oh, yes.
When they're talking about Hector. That's just, I mean, and it screeches my
Oh,
mind
yes.
to a halt. It's just like, yeah, you're the hero? I mean,
Yes,
so
right,
weird.
right.
Yeah. But I know that was a different time.
I do have an accent in that it is it's just an interesting premise of seeing all these empty LA streets and that beautiful haze filter they have over the sky, and then we end up cutting away to these scientists in a bunker that I just don't find as interesting like at all, and I wasn't really sure what they were doing out there, and then they start kidnapping people to steal their adrenochrome or whatever the QAnon people believe out of the children to stay alive. And I just never quite that never quite gelled for me. I had much more fun, seeing these kids going to the mall and going to the radio station and having the town to themselves rather than this bunker that is kind of more generic,
Totally.
Yeah, it's got some real Night of the Living Dead vibes, like right, or Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the
That was
Dead,
my
yeah.
favorite. That was my favorite stuff. The malls in general. Opportunity knocks. I'm a big mall guy. Like if you
Sucker
can
for
give
a
me a
mall.
mall and a closed mall, I'm there. I think my axe is similar. That the most fun. I just didn't think they needed to shoehorn this naughty scientist story on top of what was already fun. Like I didn't get it. The comet was a mystery enough. You take them out, it's just like the mysteries of space have destroyed humanity, and that was fine. This is the opposite. This is what is it when it's the opposite of an axe? I guess it's just a compliment.
Do we do those on this show?
Do we do those? No.
A pillow to fluff.
It's a pillow to fluff. Yeah. I am definitely a born in the 70s child of the 80s. So whenever I see these movies, I'm a little bit circumspect at just, what are they going to elevate that is so 80s. But this is not a period film. This is a movie that was made contemporaneous to the 80s. And it was kind of delightful watching my people parade through the mall. Like they looked like people I went to high school with. They were older than those people, but they dressed right. There was a lot of appropriate neon, and that leather couch in the radio station that was awesome. The S couch, like that was a legit couch in my neighbor's home, and I found that really touching. So I think they got a lot of fun stuff right about like showcasing the things that make the 80s 80s. And that's why I think it's less of a nostalgia piece and more just like, oh, Monday morning after the comet for me.
Something that
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Chelsea.
I was just nodding. Agree.
Something that all three of these movies, I think, and we'll go through them obviously step by step, but I was unclear about what the movie thought it was. Do they know that they're campy? Do they know that at times they're terrible? It's a little unclear. And then some of the times, because like, for instance, I guess maybe my big through line is I think nostalgia is a huge part of these movies, because the one that I gravitated the most to was, and we'll get there, was Night of the Creeps. And I think solely because I saw it when I was young. And I didn't see either of these other ones, so they didn't really scratch any itch for me. And so I was just a little unclear about what they were doing. The movie that would come right around this time that I'm an enormous fan of is Return of the Living Dead. The very meta Living Dead, where they talk about the original one, because it's a lot of the same style, but that movie seems to know exactly what it is. This movie, for instance, a lot of it is played very straight. All the scientist stuff is played extremely straight. And then there's that amazing part in the beginning that they don't follow up on that much, where the mom slaps the daughter and the daughter slaps this, and then she just punches her over the couch, and I burst out laughing, and I was like, oh, it's this kind of movie. It's a crazy movie. Great. But it's not really. I don't know. It's a little, it's just, I wonder, I would like to know what they thought they were making.
I think they thought, I think it's like, because it is tonally kind of all over the place, but, and it has sort of these like fun, obviously the dance montage. Like, I think it is aware. Also, Doris gets hers. So, And the sisters are so, they hate her to begin with. And
Right.
My biggest axe to grind with it is like, not everybody's fuckable. Do free really that guy? Like, give me a break. But that's the reason she like survives, is because she's in the projector booth, so place to hide if you need to.
Right.
And it's all kind of squishy. Like, I will say some of the logic in it is okay. So they survived because they're in these like steel. They're saying these like containers where they were able to iron containers that they were able to like survive but some people just turn to dust, and then some people are in process because they were just exposed to it, are turning to zombies. Some turn very quickly. Obviously, the scientists, it's revealed that they survived but are affected because the air vents were open. So that's kind of all over the place. But with the teens, though, with our leads, Regina and Samantha, which also have sort of a sibling rivalry happening a little bit. It's like, oh, Regina's always getting the guy, whereas Sam never gets the guy until the end. And she's like, I'm out of here. They agree to like repopulate. They're like, it's our job. And I was like, I don't know. There's only like 4 of you. This is not going to go well. And there's like children here that they then now take care of. So wild.
There are a couple of things in there that I really appreciate. One is just the whole nature of the hubris of science and moral compromise. Like if we're keeping, like in the world where we're keeping the scientists, C story, that's what I like about it. Like, we get this opportunity to see really bad scientists. Practicing probably good science, but they're bad people. And I like that was an arc that they felt like needs to be in this movie. The other thing that was fun is that, it does, we talk about the gender stereotypes all the time, and it does reverse the gender trope, right? This is one of those where we have these resourceful young women, and they're the Valley Girl types, but they're also incredibly good with a Mac 10. And I think that was legitimately funny. And they become survivors who do heavy lifting, and they're never really compromised. Even the initial sex scene with the guy in the radio station bunker, like, she was very much in control of that. I think she was doing it for money at one point. Like, she was exerting her agency, and she was pissed at him, and like it didn't feel like she was being compromised. And so those are things that I think they're deceiving in a movie like this, to see the ideology that is actually quite positive.
Yeah, I did see a little mini interview with Kelly Maroney where she was talking about how the director had asked her to not necessarily copy, but to think about My Man Godfrey, and that her character is going to be like Carol Lombard in it. Wow. There's not a whole I wouldn't have picked up on that just by watching it, but then hearing that, I was like, oh yeah, like these are like the screwball comedy madcap heiress sort of roles. And it's like, hey, we're going to be survivalists, but we're also going to be feminine. We're going to, retain the Valley Girl thing. It's not them like dipping into the mud and coming out as Dutch and Predator or something. Like, they still are true to their 80s teenage girl selves, but then they become the action heroes.
And they played Tempest.
You're right.
That was the greatest throwback of all. She was into Tempest. God, I love that game.
Were you in the top 10 on your machine of Tempest?
No, I wasn't, but I aspired to be. God, that was I never really got it, but I loved it. So that was super fun. I think I think the 80s, the aesthetic, I think meets the post-apocalyptic playground well, right? That sort of clash of cultural identities, I think, plays nicely together. It's fun to see the dust in the streets and the cloud blowing, and you said, Kynan, the beautiful filter on the sky, and I at first I was thinking, I don't know, is that beautiful? It's like an ND filter, like screwed on a little funny, cockeyed. Like I don't think they filtered what they wanted to filter. Like, the house is all filtered, but only down to the drain pipes. But it did make it look austere and apocalyptic and kind of horrifying, and yet neon and pink and all the kind of stuff that I feel like it just felt like home.
Very beautiful. Like I found it to be, of the three, it's like the most cinematically gorgeous. Like, we were talking about these wide shots of Los Angeles, but also the color palette. And then of course it rains and washes it all away. And I just think that definitely stands out. It's like, oh, and the movie feels like very, it feels bigger than the other two in the sense that, we're in a lot of locations, but couldn't quite afford Cyndi Lauper. But the cover that's like Cindy adjacent. And also there's some great makeup in this movie too, of how the zombies look. So that's something I always connected with this as well. Also Kelly Maroney, who plays Sam, I believe the cheerleader costume was like, I believe it was auctioned off at one point, and I think it's recently found its way back to her. It's been gone for a very long time, and I think she finally found where it was, and I want to say it got back to her. That is sort of an iconic look, from the most iconic look from this movie too, and found its way back to her.
I think
the look that gave us Buffy, right? Buffy Summers.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely.
So Joss Whedon says that this is Buffy Summers is a bunch of different characters, but especially Sam from Night of the Comet, which again, that didn't occur to me as I was watching it, but looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like she has this great outfit at one point that just has a little athletic t-shirt that says Rebel on it, and it is like girly and cutesy, but it's also like, oh, she can really hold her own.
I think it's funny that you bring up Cyndi Lauper, because this movie definitely screams Tiffany or Debbie Gibson. I don't think they could afford Cyndi Lauper, but they could have afforded someone else. Like I don't see Lisa and the Cult Jam cropping up, but they could have gotten her too, probably.
And I think that's the other thing I loved about this movie. Watching it, I think I was probably late teens when I saw it, is that the two leads, but like sisters, young women, and that they kicked ass. That I think that they didn't have. I mean, Hector comes in and is like, I'm trying to take care of y'all, but then I got to go see my family. Peace, good luck to you. I think they just were like, okay, we're so used to taking care of ourselves already because our dad's not around. And they're firing these guns and holding their own. And obviously they end up they are the survivors. They kind of outlive everybody as they continue to look for more survivors. So that is something that I always found to really be, I was like, oh yeah, we teenagers, because I was a teenager at the time, I was like, oh, we kick ass and we can survive the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really weirdly aspirational. Like that's one of those things. You talk about this movie being big. Like at the end of the movie, there is a whole new world and they have to start from scratch. And nobody's really upset about that. Like they're just, it has this sort of frivolous kind of feeling of opportunity that comes when you are a teenager and you think you're never going to die and you've just done this horrible, you've done horrible deeds to protect yourselves and others, and you made it. And now nothing is impossible, even in a world that is utterly impossible. I think that's really cool.
That's a good point. It sort of just skips to the fun and games part of the script and never goes back or never goes, because like Dawn of the Dead has its fun moments of look at, we're in a mall and doing all this great stuff. But then, you see the people become mannequin like as they lose the ability. It goes and deals with the sadness involved.
Yes.
This has a lot of those same moments, but never stops to think, is this sad or where did we get this back then?
Right.
They're just around.
Why was that in the mall?
They're just around. Yeah. I mean, I do think like Tommy brought up something interesting about the tone of this movie. I mean, I think across the board, it's like tonally kind of strange. Thinking about some of the movies in the 80s that can get really mean. There's obviously a lot of instances where they definitely could have taken a different direction with these two women, and it's all, men who are coming to attack them, find them, do whatever. And it's like, no, that's not what this movie is. We're not going to cross that line. We know where it lives. We know that it's a comedy. We know it's science fiction. We get that. Because there are so many of those movies that are like, yeah, there's a line and we are definitely going to cross it. So that's the other thing I appreciated, is that there are many opportunities to have taken advantage of these sisters, and that never happened. There was a restraint that I feel like isn't always used in the 80s movies. Especially when it comes to like the nudity as well. It's restrained there, oddly enough, too. Especially while you're dealing with minors in the sense.
I have a question. I don't know, maybe it's best for you, Kynan. I'm interested in how you look at this. Tommy brought up camp earlier, and we've talked about camp before. This movie, and maybe it's because I've seen so many 80s movies. When does this movie qualify? And I guess maybe all three of these movies, do they qualify as camp just because they are B movies in this genre? Because I can guarantee you, when I saw them, I don't think I would have called them camp the first time. In the 80s, we called them movies. When did they become camp? How do you teach that?
I don't think necessarily that all B movies are camp. I think they're really serious, like Schwarzenegger knockoffs that are like, that never quite tip over. I think that these are done really smartly, these three, and they have a sort of self-awareness of like, yeah, we're going there. So I think that you sort of feel the movies playing with you. I think that becomes camp, as opposed to just like, there are tons of cheap movies that you wouldn't want to watch again. These are cheap movies that survive because they have this style to them. They have this sense of like, we're in the hands of people who like movies, as opposed to some of the other ones which are made very grimly by people who don't even seem to want to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
These films want to be there.
Yeah,
that's
I like the idea that these are light, right? Like because maybe because I'm on one of my other shows with Lester Ryan Clark, The Devil's Details. We're looking at Revelation right now and the rapture and that idea, and this one starts with some rapture-ish imagery, perhaps before that was really mainstream, of just like seeing all these the clothes of the block party and all these people left behind there. But yeah, it doesn't end up being like, oh, woe is us. There's no survivor's guilt or anything, right? They just accept that they're there, and so maybe it is what Chelsea's sort of saying, like, yeah, they're used to being left behind every day. These are Gen X latchkey kids, so it's like, how is this different from a normal Saturday? Except that there's less grown-ups telling us what to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other thing that sticks out, just because this is, this episode is Night of the, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like thinking about how each of these movies handles night and what night means to the characters, that night is when the horrors happen, right? And after dark, everything's bad. But also night is when the parties happen. It's where indulgence happens. It's where rule breaking happens, and all of the stuff that we celebrate. And I think all these movies, to a different degree, this one probably least of the three, really celebrate what happens when youth is on its own, is left alone to fend for itself and make choices that aren't always great, but in this case, are survival.
Yeah, there's a glimpse at this other movie where the two girls are stuck in the mall and they're having a great time, but it turns out that within the 2 nights that everyone has been gone, the stock boys have become like
Feral.
cannibal chuds, or whatever it is, right? And they're just like, we shoot people on sight, we tie people up, this is what we do, again, with two nights of being left alone without any of the middle managers. They've been in the stock room protected from steal, I guess. They're like, oh, we've gone insane, which you just buy in the movie, but
they're just immediately feral.
Immediately.
You imagine there's this moment where they
season 2 of The Walking Dead is when people started to go weird. This was an afternoon, and they're like,
you guys, I think we're all incels. Let's celebrate.
Well, I think that is a great note to end on as we transition into Night of the Creeps. Like I said, from 1986, but this one is directed by Fred Decker and written by, who you might know from Monster Squad and RoboCop 3. And he also wrote the 2018 Predator. But this one stars Tom Atkins, Jason Lively, Steve Marshall, Jill Whitflow, and it is
David Paymer.
Yes, David Paymer. Thank you. And is about alien brain parasites that turn their host into a zombie. So a little through line here, basically possessing the host and turning them into a killing zombie and the teenagers who fight back. But it's also good to note that these parasites specifically enter through your mouth in a disgusting way. And also, oddly enough, for its time, being in the 80s, something that was always talked about with this movie is that a lot of more recently talked about is the last names of the characters are famous horror directors. So you have Raimi, Carpenter, Hooper, Romero, Cronenberg as like a little homage to all of those directors, which then since then that has been done, but everyone always says you're copying Night of the Creeps. But I want to get into it with the axe to grind with this one.
Mine is petty, but I don't understand the rules. It doesn't set up rules, and it's not consistent, especially with like his roommate. Instead of turning into a creep machine, he has time to record a cool outgoing message and then take care of himself, like just little things like that. What the conscious, I would like to know a little bit more, and the fact that no one is ever like there's creeps everywhere. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to call them the creeps.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
oh my God, it's filled with creeps.
Honestly, like your point is like we're talking about the rules. Is my biggest axe to grind with this one is justice for JC. Like I want him back. I just love his character so much, and I just love that role. And the actor is so good. And he's like, okay, I need to find fire affects them. So I'm going to go down to the boiler room, and they like come out of, I just thought at the end, I always wanted him to just like, hey, I'm okay. Like you killed, but then spoiler alert, they didn't actually get them all. So I just like those rules of like, oh, it'll all be set back. No, that's not the world for it.
Yeah. He's a wonderful actor. I don't think I've seen him. He's really great in this. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do much.
Do you have axes, Kynan?
No, I can't think of any. I really enjoyed this a whole lot. I can't think of it for a movie that's all over the place and weird and taking all these risks. They all paid off for me. I can't really think of anything.
Okay, I just, and this may not be an axe. It may be just a blade of some smaller blade. I don't know that I needed the aliens in the beginning.
Oh my gosh,
Pete, no!
I know.
Aliens that say "damn."
Yes.
More puppets.
Yeah,
seriously, that was a high point for you, Goons.
That was a high point for me.
Oh
absolutely.
Man, Kynan.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Because I'd mentioned that this is the movie that I'd seen, and so most of this movie was like, oh right, like when he's like starts the lawnmower, I'm like, I know that scene, and when the guy is like coming up with the axe, I was like, right. But that beginning, I was like, I have been thinking about different creeps. I did not remember that. I was like, are those the creeps? What's happening? No, we're back. I feel like I missed the beginning, the cold open, the first time that I saw the movie. Yeah,
I like that this movie has two cold opens, two prologues.
Yep.
It's fun, yes.
Okay.
These little naked alien baby puppet things, or they're not puppets. They're more like They're like more like theme park mascot suits.
Yeah.
Right. This is what an Ewok looks like shaved.
Oh my God.
I also didn't remember the whole black and white, like the time jump. I didn't remember a lot of that stuff.
Right.
Well, and that goes back to the rules, I think. Like that comes down, it hits him, he was put in cryostasis. And it was just a lot. And I wonder if the movie could have gotten away with less, because honestly, the brain slugs are enough for me of an anxiety factory. And that should be said because like this movie is early in a legacy of these kinds of movies, like even further back with Body Snatchers and today with The Last of Us, right? Things that are not of this world or not of our species taking over us and making us do other things. And I think that's awesome. And I didn't understand while I understood the relationship of the baby slug brain things to humanity, I never felt like they answered the question why the aliens in space had them in these canisters. What was that all about? I mean, is it an alien Earth gambit? Like they're just collecting aliens from around space? I don't know.
They call it an experiment.
Yeah.
They say that experiment must not get off the ship.
And
that's enough.
They were like, come back with our creeps.
Okay. Right. If you're misremembering it from your childhood, keep out this spoiler for a second. But then in the epilogue, the aliens come back for them. Like they want them enough. So it's not just like, oh, they could destroy this crappy little planet down there. Like we need these brain slugs back.
Yeah.
Is that what they were doing when they were scanning the cemetery? They've come back. They've come back to pick up their creeps.
Yeah, they
like
need
them.
All right.
Was that a payoff for you guys? I really wanted the slugs to get into the cemetery, and then I wanted hands
yes,
coming up out of the. I wanted that badly.
Do you want a party?
Or what is the end of Caddyshack? Where it's, I'm all right. About me.
Oh, guys,
yes, all of that.
Yeah. Tommy keeps calling them the creeps. I think the creeps are the alpha male frat boys.
What?
Well,
right?
it all makes sense now.
Like the frat boys are the creeps, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
That's what I would say.
Yeah. Because they're the ones who creep on women and are jerkwads.
It's not Night of the
Jerkwads.
No, it can't be.
But it is also Night of the Creeps because these guys are out being predatory.
I think they're creeps, yeah.
Yeah, but
the bus full of creeps.
The thing that people will remember about this night is not those mean frat boys. That's not what makes the headline. It's the creeps going in people's faces.
They've become what they are.
I like if it's a double entendre. I like that. It never occurred to me. I just had them little squiggly creeps. But sure.
Speaking of headlines, I mean, this is the kind of movie where there's a student newspaper headline that says "Headless Corpse Found at Sorority Row," and then under that, it's theater department puts on Julius Caesar. And it's like, let's we still got a college to run here.
Right.
Yeah, I think you get a lot of that, right? When you hear Decker say things like, yeah, I just thought of every B-movie cliche I could possibly find, and I jammed it into this movie. It really, truly did, right? The humor sort of horror balance, I think, is really great. There are some, obviously gory set pieces. The shotguns to the head with the creeps exploding out of them are nice. And I think it leans so well into the dark imagery that's just funny. I find it really satisfying, especially the way they speed ramp the actual slugs jumping into mouths.
I love it.
I found that little effect is really stupid and effective, and I'm here for it.
This movie's like oddly charming. I know that's like kind of such a. And revisiting this because I watched all three in a row again, and I was like, do I like Night of the Creeps more now? Like I always like to think about my relationships with movies and when I revisit them. And it was just this movie's such a delight. And Tom Atkins, we just need to take a moment to talk about Tom Atkins and how his and he is just like eating that scene. He's just chewing it up. Like he got the brief. He knows what he's doing here. And also like the connecting like his character in the 1959 and now we're in 86. And there is a lot going on in terms of we've got these like parasites, but also that are turning people into zombies. Also his like ex-girlfriend died because of a serial killer or a mental patient that escaped. But
so he used vigilante justice.
Killed him, buried him under a house, but then that guy came back to life because a slug got in, a parasite got in him. There's a lot happening. I don't know if you need all of that. I'm here for it all. And then he ultimately is like, no, I'm brokenhearted. I can't get over what happened. to my ex and how she died. And now I'm going to sacrifice myself to save the rest of you. I'm here for it.
I thought tone-wise, this was the most, and again, it might partly be because this is the one I saw. I really think the nostalgia plays an enormous amount with these movies, but this is the one that felt the most cohesive. I felt like the filmmakers, the most of the three, this is the one they're like, we know what we're doing. We got Atkins on it. We got these jokes. We got funny sidekicks, and let's just keep moving forward. Because that line is iconic, the good news, bad news. It was in the trailer, I remember. But I mean, yeah, that you don't write that line thinking that you're making Dawn of the Dead, like the next great horror movie. You're making a blast. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we get to that moment, right, with you ladies, your dates are here, like to have that fight in, doing San Raimi-esque stuff, but now we are dressed for Homecoming or Rush or whatever that is. Like that is a like hooray in the theater to, like, if you were to pack a theater, which I mean I don't think they have done it for this movie, that didn't do very well in its initial run, but like I could imagine people going like, yeah, look at this, like her in her beautiful gown and him in his little tux with the flamethrower and everything. Like that is just a kick-ass image in a movie that has a lot of really interesting imagery to it.
Yeah, the flamethrower. In no world would also they let that's the other thing I love is they let her Cindy use the flamethrower. She gets to do it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, normally they'd be like, oh no, you can't handle this little lady. We got to take it for you. I love that. And them like coming together. I do find the lead to be, I can kind of give or take the lead. JC overshadows him.
Rusty,
he just gets overshadowed by his best friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lead is Blake Lively's brother, it turns out, Jason Lively.
Really?
Yeah, so we have seen him. He's one of the Rusties in Vacation. Which one? European Vacation.
European Vacation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but JC just really overshadows him. He is just I like their relationship though. So I hear you about how we might like JC better than Chris, but their relationship, and they feel young. They feel like they come out of a John Hughes movie like Weird Science or something like that. And they have a very believable like pillow fight moment in the middle of the movie. It's like, oh yeah, these are boys. These are children. Who want to be grown-ups and want to get the girl, but they don't want to be the creeps. They're just very, very likable people.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Fright Night, right? Of our two leads. And, we have that great transformation in Fright Night. You're so cool, Brewster. Like, these guys could have been those guys just fine. And I would have believed them. Similar tones in that movie, too. Interesting.
Yeah, it also has a great... also, I think anytime you see a Dick Miller cameo, is always exciting. You're like, oh, okay. Now we're it's the 80s. We're here. It's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think it's a very every time now that I've watched this a few times now, it's fun, but I also think to what you were saying about the John Hughes sort of moment there with Chris and Cindy, which I love something like, I'm a big fan of Chris Landon's work because I love horror with heart. And I think this has a lot of heart. And also even with Detective Cameron, even with his role, it's all about his heart. He's the way he is because he has a broken heart. So I think this has a lot of those layers, and that's, speaks to Fred Decker's writing too. Obviously Monster Squad has a lot of heart in it too. So we kind of see that in this one. Where the other two are much colder films compared to this one. This one has this really just nice warmth to it, even though there's crazy slugs everywhere.
The detective is so sad he can only take one drag off of every cigarette and then throw it on the ground. Because he's so sad. Every cigarette, he's like, thrill me. Oh, no.
I'm not thrilled.
I'm not thrilled with your cigarette.
Yeah. I do think, back to the theme of night, right? Like, this is the one where night is fun, and yes, there's a fight with the slug infected creatures, and that represents the apocalypse and to these people, and yet it's also the time where they get to, again, exert their authority. They're all going out to party and have sex, but that plan is now over. So they're going to kill a bunch of slug-infected monsters. That's like a fun way to, again, make night a thing that teenagers can control, right? That teenagers have authority and agency, and they don't have to fear the night, right? They get to get over that, and I think that's a message that I think is important. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to transition to the all-night movie, steeped in night. The whole movie, 1988's Night of the Demons, directed by Kevin Tenney, who you also might know from directing Witchboard, and stars obviously horror icon Linnea Quigley, also Johnny Jeffcoat, Kathy Podwell, Billy Gallo, Alvin Alexis, Lance Fenton, and Hal Havis as our lovely character Stooge, who's just a dream. This one's about 10 teenagers who decide to party at an abandoned funeral parlor on Halloween night. And when an evil force awakens, demonic spirits keep them from leaving and turn their gathering into a living hell. I'm excited to get into this one. There's a lot to unpack on this one, I feel like. So tell me your big axes to grind.
This is the one where I came up with my thesis of, do they know what they're making? I couldn't tell, because I was like, everyone is so crazy. No one talks like a real person. Everyone is a caricature, but the film doesn't seem to know that, because it doesn't lean into it enough. There's never a punch over the couch like in the first one. There's no kind of weird lines. I mean, there's weird lines, but they feel just like rough dialogue. This one, I have to be honest, was a rough watch for me. I kind of wanted to punch this movie because there's no one likable in it for me. I liked some of the scares and I liked some of the idea, definitely. I'm glad it exists, but this one was rough stuff. I mean, it's just the most awful loud people screaming at me for what feels like a very long time.
It feels like in the first half, like the director is asking everyone to deliver even the straight lines with as much like sarcasm as possible. So there's very little earnestness in the beginning. That comes after the monsters show up, and then they're very earnest, and they have all its feelings. But there are a lot of like lines. I'm like, whoa, why do all of these have to be snarky? Every single line.
Why are they snarky? And there are microphones, right? You don't need to scream every line of dialogue. We got you. Also, the sound was interesting. The other acts, there's something wrong. Did you hear that tinny effect throughout the movie with the sound?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I had a Blu-ray. I didn't.
It happens in.
I don't know that I got it.
It happens in post when you don't sync it up correctly, and it ends up sounding kind of hollow.
Oh, yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
I have two lesser axes involving costumes. The first is, I think you can do like one character who refuses to put on a Halloween costume, but out of 10, we have basically 3. So Stooge has a little mask, but then he takes it off, and so then later on, when things start to get creepy and things are falling apart, it's like, we just got 3 dudes looking like regular dudes. It's like, oh, that's not as fun, And then later on, we have 3 characters who were killed during the act of lovemaking, and when they become zombies, they put their clothes back on, and I couldn't help but imagine the scenes, that are like, let's go kill everybody, but oh my goodness, let's cover up a little bit here.
Is this your sock?
That's my favorite axe to grind ever, I think.
Fumbling around.
Yeah, maybe think a little bit. Just not as fun, not as sexy as if they're zombies who had their clothes off. But
the guys whose eyes got torn out, his shirt's upside down. Oh boy.
he has a button up, and he had to, without his eyes anymore, like find all of his buttons. Yeah.
I think if this movie, if we're going back to our 80s pop stars, I think this is the Samantha Fox of the movies. Like, it's it maybe has a hit in it, it, and then it's the rest of it's just porn. I didn't know that there are some things that are weirdly like clever that I don't ever want to see again. She does a thing with a lipstick that I didn't know was possible, but and I don't need to ever be exposed to that again. It was weird. And it was just weird. I think this movie wants to be Evil Dead and Animal House at the same time. And it's neither one, right? Like it ends up sort of failing with cardboard archetypes and it doesn't subvert really anything. It plays it right across the bow. Like, you know exactly what you're going to get at any given moment. And then it changes its mind, and then it changes its mind back again. So I think I agree with all of that that has been said. And I add to it the lipstick breast scene. That's
my mind
just weird.
That.
I think that's incredible. What?
What?
As soon as that happened. No, I remember it now.
Oh, okay.
I feel like in the moment, I was like, nope. Because I forgot about it until now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, though.
Yeah.
I fell for it. I didn't see it as a prosthetic or anything, and then lipstick's gone.
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously, like I said at the top, this is third on the list chronologically and third on my list because I do see this movie as a comedy, full on, and whether they intended that or not. But this is the meanest of all the movies, and this one is definitely like I'm just now I feel like what I had as my axe to grinds where I knew would kind of be a through line, but it's it's very mean. That characters are really, you're like, who am I rooting for? Because even Judy is a wet blanket. So it's like, I mean, Roger who lives, Roger's my favorite through the whole movie, but but the characters are really rough, especially Stooge. Sort of the male female dynamics are really intense. It's so much, there's like slut shaming. It's a lot to unpack in that sense.
God,
and also I think for a movie that is 90 minutes, it definitely feels a lot longer. There's some pacing issues. There's scenes that go on way too long. But there's a couple dance montages, which is really interesting. I have a friend who just did a burlesque show where she was our lead. Oh my God, her name is escaping me. Not Suzanne, but Angela, who does the Angela, who's all in black who does he mimicked that dance in a burlesque show like last week.
Oh, cool.
And
smart.
I did Angela's Halloween 2 years ago. So with the lipstick and all of that, the pink dress. What a great intro to a character, a butt shot. I was definitely bending down at this Halloween party like crazy just to mimic that. But this
putting in the fireplace.
Exactly. This movie, I think, it does not get enough credit for how incredible the special effects are. The makeup in this movie is absolutely incredible. It's probably the best part of the movie. And like that breastplate she's wearing to stuff that lipstick in her tit, as weird as that is, it's done so seamlessly. And also Linnea's, I can always count on her for great nudity. But it's done so because she keeps her neck down. She's hiding the seam. It's done so perfectly. But all the makeup across the board is really incredible in this movie. And even there's, as the demons, too, so good, just so good. But this one also has, wait a minute, we're doing this spell. There's a mirror. We see the demon. We get to see him again later. And then they're just possessed because someone just happened to be doing Suzanne just happened to be doing her lipstick, and again, mouths again getting possessed through the mouth.
A lot of mouth stuff.
A lot of mouth stuff. But I do find all of these axes to grind are valid. I agree. I knew this one was going to be. I was like, oh boy, and this is going to be the rough one. I know it. I'm ready to hear it. I knew when I picked it. I was like, there's going to be notes and thoughts.
Well, that was it. I mean, that's like, I think the rules, again, as soon as what's her name, first possession kisses the second possession, you know what's going to happen, but it just violated the rules of like demon possession in a way that it didn't make clear what it was attempting. And the Book of the Vampire moment, when she is explaining what she thinks happens, Black Dress Girl, it was either performatively weak, that she didn't seem confident enough in telling me what was happening that I believe her, or it was narratively weak that the rules were just wonky and there was no sense of what she was trying to get across was actually real to the fabric of the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't always play out the way that I feel like it should in terms of the infection of possession. And that makes it strange. By the end, there is no, you look at the other 9 or 8 or 9 people are up, and one of them has the fence post through his chest, and they've all died in a different way, but their possession is incomplete.
Yeah.
Right? We don't see that happen. We don't understand that happen. So I think that would be a pretty major X, I guess, is the rules.
The rules are very
poor.
squishy. And also Halloween is kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying, there's only, I think somebody brought up about Halloween, there's only 3 people in costumes, and it was Kynan. And it's like, complete missed opportunity to have that. And they don't even talk about Halloween until later when they're talking about like, oh, the evil, and it's only until the sun comes up, fastest like sunrise ever. But it's like, it's only until, it's Halloween. Like, it's like, I forgot.
Right. The misogyny too is like, I think there are scenes that actually play it well, like the butt shot, right? Like that ends up being a funny sequence because they reveal that the girls are working together and it's larceny. Like they're actually like they're using sexuality to steal a bunch of stuff. That's cool. Stooge's misogyny is written for laughs, and that has not aged well at all. He is a very unfortunate character.
It's really rough.
It's a roller coaster of bad choices.
Yeah. And Helen, I feel so bad for his girlfriend, but I was like, what are you doing with this person? He's a piece of shit.
But really great execution in some parts, like real flashes of genius. So we talked about that breastplate for Linnea Quigley, but also like the mirror sequence where they're doing the seance, I find really, really fetching. And they're sitting around, and you're supposed to be terrified of it, but you also get this great shot like in the mirror, and some of them are excited, some of them are bored. I like those group dynamics where you could see like not everyone has the exact same opinion about this. Some of them don't believe it, and then when it crashes, and that is a really super cool shot, and
with all of them,
like a 10 shot in the mirrors, as they're talking, like that's super cool.
I really liked that scene of them looking in the mirror because there was only one of them talking. No, but that shot of them all in different panes of the broken, I was mesmerized by that. I was wondering like, how long did that take? And they walked into it.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just, I'm sure it's so bizarre to see like, they were like,
where they had to stand to make that work.
That would make no sense in life, but on the floor it looked outstanding.
That's like,
but that's worth like a day of shooting to figure out. That is a crazy.
It's like,
good
okay,
shot.
let's take these pieces, put them on the wall. Okay, you stand here, you stand here, you stand here to mimic the floor. Like, it is incredible. Like that shot is, and I don't know if I've seen anything like that since. Is just, that's the thing, is you go through, you're like, oh boy, rough. Oh, great shot. Oh no, here we go again. Like these little blips of genius, like you were saying. Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what's funny? This is why I can see that this movie, I don't necessarily want to call it so bad it's good, right? But I can absolutely see why this would become, for some, a sleepover classic, right? Like this is the movie that you put on because it's loud and it's lewd and ludicrous, and it survives because it forgets that rules should exist in some capacity at all, and it just throws stuff on the wall, and then sometimes punches well outside of its class with just like very cool cinematography and blocking and tone and color. And then it's just right back to weird screams and funky teeth and stretchy
But it does
faces.
have such a great, I love the ending. I love going back to that old man who you see earlier.
Oh,
who's just like,
that's a crazy effect.
The pie, and then his wife he was trying to he had apples and razor blades, and where'd you get these apples from? And then the razor blades slice his throat, and she just stands there and is like, happy Halloween, dear. I just love it. I just I was like, wow, they knew they had to end really strong, after what we went.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
There was a real creep show vibe,
Yes.
you know, like
very much so. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, her saying just sort of beatifically Happy Halloween. It's like, where was that movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why didn't some of the other characters, why were they all insane?
Yes. Yes. Very true.
No, but I'm glad, although I was not a fan of the movie, I was very glad to watch it because it fits in with these other two movies in an interesting way. Definitely. And there's also 80s.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the 80s parts of this are so interesting in Night of the Demons. But then there's also sort of a tip of the hand to this classic sort of horror, that last sequence where it's the 8 of them chasing the 2 of them, and the music, which I guess it's sort of in my mind been infected by like the music video nature of it, now becomes really classic organ stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. There are parts where they know who they are, where they're going, what they're doing with this, like, and that's one of them where it's like, okay, this is not 80s irony at this point with them, you know, her crawling up that wall and cutting herself with the barbed wire and all that.
Oof,
and,
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
rough.
oh yeah, that is old school, crazy, terrible horror. And I love the music there.
Yeah. And then they all disappear in a puff of smoke.
Everything is gone. Also, it's another one where you're like, oh, is it going to reset? Like, is this just a Halloween night thing?
Yeah.
Nope. And I also find it to see a horror movie in the 80s that one of our people of color, one of our characters of color survives. Like that lives is so rare to see, especially in this era. Especially obviously the previous 2 movies you were talking about, very white movies. But that's something that I find to be very refreshing in this movie. And also is like, you know, that barbed wire thing you bring up. I actually forgot about that when I watched it this time. It's like, oh, I totally forgot they're both climbing up barbed wire to survive. Insane.
I think that's such a good point about that the black guy survives, because it's leaning in on in an actually kind of subtle way to that trope that it's any horror movie, it's always the black people who know what's coming first, right? They always know what's coming, and they just tell the white people what to do, and the white people don't do it, and they end up dead. This guy found a way out of the house and slept in the car and took care of himself and did the right thing, and this movie should have been his all along. And I'm really glad he survived.
And the best protagonist, hands down.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. And he made me think of Get Out and who was it, Lil Rel, and like that, just the whole vibe was perfect around that kid.
That does remind me. So I didn't go on and watch the sequels to this, you know, based on this movie, but I've seen that, like, Angela is the character who returns, and there's something about her that I don't think is fully explored here. It's sort of like hinted, okay, she's the outsider, they don't like her, but there's something about her that, like, a reason why they would show up for her Halloween party, maybe because she is weird and goth and all of that, like, and that costume, and the way she holds herself, like, so I don't know if it's really here, but you could see how that character and that actor, right, like, what is her name, Amelia Kincaid, like that is worthy of follow-up.
No.
So I don't know if any of those are good, you know. I haven't, like, I think those two bad girls, the outsider girls, I think that's very interesting. I don't think we spend enough time with them here as characters at all, but there's something about, like, why is this goth, like, princess, like, ill, I hate all men, and then this other princess seductress character, like, why are they best friends? I find that interesting.
Totally. It surprises me. I haven't seen the sequels, didn't watch the sequels either, naturally, but that she's introduced kind of late in the movie, and that she's the one that they latch onto and do something more with I find that fascinating.
Definitely the craft is the inspiration. You can see it all over for Fairuza's character, which you're like, oh yeah, I see where this, you watch this and you can kind of connect the two. But yeah, I mean, sure. Suzanne and Angela, I love both of them. And again, 2 characters that I like and want to know more about, that they're gotta get a lot of stooge time in there, you know.
More stooge time.
And even Sal is kind of a weird character too. Like there's too many. Yeah. There's definitely, you don't need 10, but you need you want all the deaths and I get it. I get why they're doing it. But
Yeah, it's like Cabin in the Woods figured out how to make good on character economy and this kind of a thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. This one this one takes the night theme to its purest, darkest, inescapable horrors, and I kind of like how we stair step down into the inescapable horror part with these three movies, that they go from fun neutral density filter to this is when parties happen to, oh my God, cross the stream. We're never going to get out of this black hole of a furnace alive. That makes good on the promise.
Yeah, and the expectations that teenagers have about night and Halloween night, like they show up and it's 10 kids at a party, which is barely a party, right? But there's something about that where there's shots of them like trying to force themselves to have a good time. None of them are having a good time. The radio kind of sucks. They're just like, but woo! Just like, woo! Let's do this, that felt really real to me. Of like, we're supposed to be doing crazy things at night, we're supposed to be doing bad things, and they're not prepared for the real bad things, obviously.
What's so funny about that is, like, do you remember having like gatherings like this that you would call a party, but then someone brought out a strobe light and you could buy 15 minutes of awesome party time, and then it would just fall flat again? I love that this movie captures that.
Not enough strobe.
And they're like, yeah, let's look around the house now. We're done with the strobe light.
We're done with the strobe light. But then there's always the one kid who's still in the strobe light, just going crazy for like an hour. Like, Eric's still in the strobe light. Don't go to the living room, everybody.
Well, thank you so much for spending the night with me.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Good choices.
Super fun collection. And that leads us to next month's host. Tom, it's you. What fresh hell do you have for us next month? You're literally still deciding. I just want you to know. I see that you're still deciding right now.
Yeah, he's got index cards he's shuffling through.
I'm trapped in yarn. Why I think it's so interesting is it is a film franchise of sorts, and it's an enormous hit, and yet still I also think somehow underrated. It's divisive. I know a lot of people that do not care for them. I know a lot of people that are like, oh, it's fun, but it's certainly not scary. I find it to be terrifying and horrifying. And I think it has done things to jump scares that haven't been done before. And I think it is the pop version of this trauma horror that we've been dealing with ever since like Babadook and stuff. The idea that trauma is the real killer. I would like to have you guys watch two films, but start with the short film, Laura Hasn't Slept. Laura Hasn't Slept is the short film that then led to Smile and Smile 2. Films, and all three films talk to each other. As you will see, if you haven't watched Laura Hasn't Slept yet, you will see how this is the continuation of one long, also weirdly evolving story. So are you guys okay with Smile movies? I'm sort of locking you in a closet.
I love those movies.
Okay. What else she got?
Yeah.
Next.
Are you telling me there's a choice?
Right. No. That sounds great.
Yeah. I think it's really, I think there's a lot of stuff, and it's the sequels I think get better and better. Yeah. So that's rare too. So that's what we'll be talking about this next time.
Great.
I haven't seen those. I got terrified by that lady at that baseball game who was doing the marketing stunt for it.
Yep.
That's one of the creepiest things that's ever happened to me. So let's watch the movie she was promoting. Yeah.
And I will send out.
I cannot wait.
A couple different places to watch Laura Hasn't Slept. The main one is Daily Motion, and they interrupt it with 4 different ad breaks.
Oh God.
A 12-minute short film. Yeah. I'm gonna find a better one and I'll send it to the group.
Okay.
All right.
This is fantastic. What a great set of films.
Very excited.
I love these movies.
Yeah,
so
me
much.
too.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
very, very excited.
I was like, people don't like those movies?
Wonderful.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard that. Yeah.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Real.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't believe, Kynan, I'm so excited that you get to, I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah.
That you get to watch these for the first time.
You're in for a treat.
They're really great. I mean, they're terrible. Just I'm trying to set expectations. I want something to exceed. They're terrible. I mean, well, they're okay.
They're fine.
The second
it's
one
fine.
is so-so.
I mean, they're movies.
Anyway,
they're just a movie.
it's fine. The second one stars, what's her name? She was in Lemonade Mouth.
Oh yeah,
which was a movie that we watched a godzillion times with my kids when they were at that perfect age. Lemonade Mouth. Look it up. This was fantastic. Chelsea, I feel like you've completed the cycle now. But now that you've hosted your first episode, how do you feel? Do you feel like one of us? Good.
I feel great.
So glad you are here. Great set of films to talk about tonight. That was a really fun trip down memory lane.
I love a spirited discussion.
And very spirited discussion. I'm excited for next month. This is going to be great. We're all going to smile the whole time. It's going to be really gross. And thank you, everybody, for downloading and listening to the show. We sure appreciate your time and attention. On behalf of Chelsea Stardust, Tommy Metz III, Kynan TS, I'm Pete Wright. And we'll see you next time right here, you know where, sitting in the dark.
Thrill me.